Hey, Queen. Here's a question that came out of a conversation yesterday. Is your name on your website? You don't have to have your name on your website, but I will say from the get go that having your name on your website is a way to humanize your brand, which is a huge trust indicator, especially right now. What we know is that 81% of consumers need to be able to trust a brand in order to buy. This is why trust indicators are so important. If you don't want to have your name on your website, here are other ways that you can make sure that you're creating a presence that people can trust. But these are things that you should be doing absolutely anyway. You want to have a strong domain and a branded email address that matches that domain. So if you're using Yahoo, Gmail, anything along those lines, definitely spend the extra dollars to get yourself a branded email address. A secure website. If you don't have HTTPS, then get that get that sorted right away. Especially because when people click through to your website, they're going to get a caution message that says, "Do you want to proceed? This is risky." So that's going to make them less likely to actually click through to your website. A well-designed website that is easy to navigate, that shows that this is a professional outfit. I can trust this. I can spend my money here is absolutely vital. If your website looks if it's rinky dink, it's probably going to decrease your conversion. So that's definitely something to look into. Company information. I read a really good quote online a couple of days ago, and it said that if your website is the face of your brand, then your About Us page is the heart of your brand. So your About Us page is your opportunity to show people names, faces, personality, to once again humanize your brand and also demonstrate your value, your expertise, which again are things that um, go a long way to helping people actually trust you and your brand. Contact information. People need to know how to get a hold of you if they have any questions, if they have returns. Basically, they need to know that there's a lifeline. There's a source that they can actually contact if they need to. Memberships and accreditations. If you are a member of any organizations like your local Black Chamber of Commerce, a group like Buy from a Black Woman, Black Women Hustle. If you have specific certifications for your industry, you want to make sure to include those because once again, it's trust by association, and it just also shows it shows the roots and connections that you have in the community. So once again, it shows that you aren't a fly by night business. You're rooted in the community. You aren't going to just disappear once you have their money. And then social proof. Social proof is testimonials, case studies, because other people, other consumers talking about their experience with your brand is something that makes people feel comfortable and makes them see that it is actually safe to do business with you. Um, Something to keep in mind is even if you have all of this information on your website to make your brand look uh, not to make your brand look, but to show that you are trustworthy, it might not actually it might not actually have that effect because basically owned media is media that we own. That's our website, our blog, our social media platforms. Consumers don't even trust that. If you look at this table, you see that between 2019 and 2021, trust in owned media has dropped from 49% to 41% and actually seems to be trending down. So consumers trust information that they find in search engines the most. And by the way, your PR content shows up in search engines. And then they trust traditional media, second most after that. Traditional media is newspapers, magazines, radio, and then owned media, that's us and what we own at 41%, and they trust social media the least. So it's best to have a combination of all of these and to create a presence that is as trustworthy as possible. But if you use search engines and traditional media, you can go a long way to actually bolstering trust in your brand. So if people come across your website and maybe they're on the fence, but they do a Google search and they see that actually you're showing up on a bunch of other platforms that they trust, then that's going to help you get those conversions. Another thing about PR and about showing up when people do searches for you outside of your website is that it helps you humanize your brand, which is absolutely vital in the age where, to be honest, people trust news sources less anyway. And especially right now with all of the misinformation going on around COVID, the the mistrust in news sources means that if you come out in front of your brand and you humanize your brand, you're immediately making yourself you're showing up as a human in front of other humans as opposed to an entity. So if you're making yourself relatable in that way, you're standing out, and also they can separate you from these entities and just see you as a human to connect to. So whether or not you decide to have your name or be a presence as a part of your brand is up to you. But just keep in mind that nothing beats connecting with humans. Nothing beats connecting with humans. Human connection is one thing that absolutely everybody wants. So if you're able to just show up as yourself, if you're able to be comfortable enough as you are to show up as yourself, don't feel the need to change who you are, change how you present yourself, because ultimately being who you are is going to attract the people who enjoy that and who resonate with that. And those are the types of people who are going to enjoy being a part of your story, being a part of your brand story without wanting to change it anyway. So if this is something that you want to do, if you want to learn how to leverage PR, how to leverage your story to connect with people in a meaningful way, then take a look at my free case study video. It's going to walk you through how to get publicity for your business without breaking the bank. And all you have to do is enter your best email address and then you'll get instant access to it.